All right. Chapter 3 of Amulets, Charms, and Enchantments. The instrument of enchanters is a pure living, breathing spirit of the blood, whereby we bind or attract those things which we desire or delight in, so that by an earnest intention of the mind we take possession of the faculties in a no less potent manner than strong wines beguile the reason and senses of those who drink them. Therefore, to charm is either to bind with words in which there is great virtue, as the poet sings, words thrice she spake, which caused at will sweet sleep, appeased the troubled waves and roaring deep. Indeed, the virtue of man's words are so great that when pronounced with a fervent consistency of the mind, they are able to subvert nature to cause earthquakes, storms, and tempests. I have in the country, by only speaking a few words and used some other things, caused terrible rains and claps of thunder. Almost all charms are impotent without words, because words are the speech of the speaker and the image of the thing signified or spoken of. Therefore, whatever wonderful effect is intended, let the same be performed with the addition of words significative of the will or desire of the operator. For words are a kind of occult vehicle of the image conceived or begotten and sent out of the body by the soul. Therefore, all the forcible power of the spirit ought to be breathed out with vehemency and an arduous and intent desire. And I know how to speak and convey words together so as they may be carried onward to the hearer at a vast distance, no other body intervening, which thing I have done often. Words are also oftentimes delivered to us, seemingly by others, in our sleep, whereby we seem to talk and converse. But then no vocal conversations are of any effect, except that they proceed from spiritual and occult causes. Such spirits have often manifested singular things to me while in sleep, the which in waking I have thought not of, until conviction of the truth taught me credulity in such like matters. In the late change of administration, I knew at least 5 days before it actually terminated that it would be as I described to a few of my friends. These things are not alike manifested to everyone, only, I believe, to those who have long seriously attended the contemplations of this absolute nature, but there are those who will say it is not so, merely because they themselves cannot comprehend such things. However, not to lose time, we proceed. There are various enchantments which I have proved relative to common occurrences of life, viz., a kind of binding to that effect which we desire, as to love or hatred, or to those things we love, or against those things we hate, in all which there is a magical symphony above the power of reasoning. Therefore, those abstruse shoot abstruse matters abstruse matters we feel are convinced of and reflect upon and draw them into our use. I will here set down, while speaking of these things, a very powerful amulet for the stopping immediately of bloody flux, for the which with a faith I dare lay down my life for the success and entire cure. An amulet for flux of blood. In the blood of Adam arose death. In the blood of Christ, death is extinguished. In the same blood of Christ, I command thee, O blood, that thou stop fluxing. In this one godly superstition, there will be found a ready, cheap, easy remedy for the dreadful disorder, the bloody flux, whereby a poor, miserable wretch will reap more real benefit than in a whole shop of the apothecary's drugs. These two letters, I'm not sure what those two letters are a powerful charm or amulet against the common argue. Likewise, let them be written upon a piece of clean and new vellum at any time of the day or night, and they will be found a speedy and certain cure, and much more efficacious than the word abracadabra. How even, as that ancient charm is still amongst some who pretend to cure argues, etc., in some repute, I will here set down the form and matter of its being written. Likewise, it must be pronounced or spoken in the same order as it is written, with the intent or will of the operator declared at the same time of making it. That's it.